Hello, beautiful soul. My name is Isabelle Gloria. I'm a spiritual leadership mentor and a spiritual teacher, and I'm welcoming you on my YouTube channel. If you are currently on a spiritual journey, you probably are working with your third eye, whether you're meditating or you are doing practices to open your third eye. I'm sure you've heard about this and you are trying to open your third eye or to get clearer clairvoyant vision. So this video is all that you need to know about clairvoyance, why it is important, and how you can go the first steps to activate that gift within yourself. The reason why you want to activate your third eye, or why it would be beneficial to do so, is because it gives you a completely different access to reality. Your third eye is the vision that you have in dreams. So when you are dreaming, you are not seeing, obviously, with your physical eyes, you are seeing with your third eye, with your inner eye. And it gives you an entirely new perception of reality. When you meditate with an open third eye, you see a lot of visuals, you get information visually. If you are a natural clairvoyant, so that means if clairvoyance, clear seeing, is your strongest spiritual gift, opening your third eye will completely change your world. You will suddenly get cosmic downloads in visual form. You will have insight into your dreams, your meditations. You will see your guides visually with your third eye. You will see scenes that tell you something, or dreamlike movies playing in front of your inner eye to give you information of the reality that you're accessing and all the questions you may have in your meditation. So I'm a natural clairvoyant. Clairvoyance is my natural spiritual gift and the strongest one I have. So when I tune into my clients, or when I try to give them feedback and something is coming through, when I say, hey, can I share something with you? A lot of the times I get visuals and I describe to my clients what I see, and it starts to make sense to them, either because they remember that from a past life, or it's a place they have visited before in this lifetime, or it is a scene from their childhood or something I see from their past. So being clairvoyant and having an open third eye is really beneficial. First of all, if you are working as a mentor, as a coach in the spiritual field, or if you just want to gain a lot of information about your own soul's journey. If your clairvoyance is strong, you may also see energies and spirits around other people. You may see their aura, their attachments, how blocked or open their chakras are, their pain, their trauma. You can even see things like that. You can see their overall energy and overall vibe. You can imagine it as something like going into a room and picking up a certain energy about that room. Like, what's the energy in that room like? Is it a good vibe? Is it a bad vibe? And you can have the same sensation with people by seeing their energy and also feeling it. It's always a little bit combined, but you get a visual image of what this energy is like. So, for example, a lot of people are very disconnected from their soul. A lot of people are just walking through life like robots. They go to work, they eat, sleep, repeat, and they never question anything really. They are obviously not all bad people, but what really shows is the disconnection in their aura and in their energetic field. So the way I perceive them as a clairvoyant is that a lot of these disconnected people have a gray aura. There is no color, there is a lot of gray. It's like an overlay over their original energetic imprint, and I can sense that because they are really tapped out from the divine and really tapped into the matrix. When you channel or tap into an energy and you are a clairvoyant and you have an open third eye, you most likely will get an image with the channeled information, with the channeled feeling. So it makes it easier and more tangible for you to see visually what you are channeling. It could be a landscape or a scene like you would see in a movie, and you can draw information from that and just make more sense of your channeled information. It's really helpful. Your third eye obviously is not a physical eye. It's a sense, it's something that is happening internally, something that is energetic, and something that is happening in your mind. And locally, your third eye is located on your forehead, so in the middle of your forehead, a little bit higher than between your eyebrows, so right above the eyebrows in the middle of it. Even though you can sense your third eye if you focus on it, so if you focus on that area of your forehead, you may feel a little bit of pressure, you may feel a tingling sensation, but your third eye is not physical. It's not a physical organ. However, in the brain, we have what we call the pineal gland. It's a very real gland. It's physical. It is in everyone's brain, and it is the physical representation of the third eye. So there is a correlation between the organ, the pineal gland, and the third eye. You can imagine it as the physical gland being on the third dimension where everything is physical. And your third eye, the energetic third eye, is on a higher dimension, but the representation of that organ. That non-physical representation of your pineal gland, the third eye, is your portal to the inner worlds. You can see it as a portal to higher consciousness, to other dimensions, to non-physical realms, and you have this access within your body. Even if you feel like your third eye is not open, you're already using that. It sounds too good to be true, but you are regularly using your third eye every single day. If I tell you now to close your eyes and imagine a green leaf, a picture will pop up in your mind. It can be really faint if your third eye is not really open. It can be really sharp and really clear. It depends on how well you see it, but there is some sense of that image. So whether it is really clear for you or it's just very faint and almost not there, this is your third eye. You are using your third eye. If you ever had a dream, your third eye was seeing the pictures that you then remember from that dream. If you ever visualize something, if you visualize your perfect future while doing a manifestation practice or something, you are using your third eye. It's always in use. You are using that without really noticing. There is a term called aphantasia. Aphantasia is when you don't see any visuals in your mind. I do believe the people who say that they don't perceive any visuals in their mind, but I don't think that they have aphantasia as something that is set in stone and that they can never see pictures because they're just not naturally born that way. I don't believe that. I think when you don't see any pictures, you have a blocked third eye. It is our natural inherent gift to access the inner realm, also visually, also with your third eye. But a lot of external factors and a lot of internal blocks and limiting beliefs are completely blocking us sometimes from accessing this natural gift. And this is what we would call having a closed third eye. It's not aphantasia, it's not something you cannot do anything about. It is you not accessing this part of yourself because something is blocking it. I wholeheartedly believe that everybody is naturally clairvoyant. Some people are more clairvoyant than others, yes, but everyone can access this gift within. I believe that everyone can use their third eye to see mind images really clearly. No matter how faint and how blurry they may be in the beginning, I truly believe that this is a skill you can learn and something you can practice. It just comes very naturally for some and not so naturally for others, but everyone has this inherent gift that can be unlocked. I want to test how open your third eye is, so close your eyes and do this little test with me. Imagine a blue square, just a blue square, whatever comes up for you. Imagine that in your mind and see that blue square in front of you. And now compare it with this chart. Are you a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or even a 6? How clear is your third eye vision? How clear are your internal images? Take a look and decide for a number. Number 1 is what would some people call aphantasia. So you are able to conceptualize the idea of a blue square, but you cannot actually see it in your mind. Number 6, on the other hand, represents a very open third eye. So you see the blue square with all its details. You may even see it spinning on a little disc, or you see it on like some sort of background. You see it really clearly, and you can make it move, you can make it twist, you can make it change colors, you can modify it. You see it as clear as day. Obviously, this is an internal sensation, so you're not actually seeing it with your physical eyes in front of you while thinking of it, but in your mind, you see that square really, really clearly, and you can also easily modify it, let it spin, turn it around, lay it flat. You can do all the things without any problem. That is when your third eye is really, really, really open. Something I also want to mention when it comes to clairvoyance is that you may be expecting too much. Sometimes when I talk about clairvoyance with my clients, I realize that they have a pretty clear concept of what being clairvoyant should mean. What happens several times is that my clients literally admire me for my clairvoyance, and they are stunned at how clear I can channel the pictures for them and how detailed I can describe them. I even saw people come into my friend's life before they actually did. So my clairvoyance is really strong. But through our conversation, through conversations with my friend and also with my clients, I realized that they imagine clairvoyance as something that is very obvious and very 3D. So I had to teach them that being clairvoyant does not mean to see things right in front of your physical eye. Like with your eyes open, you just see the things as if they were real. That's not how clairvoyance works. So I explained to my friend and to my clients that the images I see are clear, and I get the clear information of what this image is all about, and I also see it in my mind, but it's also at the same time still hazy, and I need to dig for the details. I need to feel into it. So if I see a door, for example, and this door is open and leads somewhere, I don't see the landscape right away. I have to walk there in my mind and see and feel what is behind that door, or where does this door lead? Where does it open to? That is how my clairvoyance works, and that's how a lot of people's clairvoyance works. It's not like seeing it with your physical eye, and that is the clearness. The clearness comes from being able to get the information out of these images. When I work with my clients, I often realize that they are super clairvoyant without even knowing. I can tell by the way they describe things in meditation. I can tell by the way they describe their visualizations or their ideal future, something like that. I can tell that they have the gift of clairvoyance, but they have wrong expectations of what it feels like and what it is like to experience that. So if you may be struggling with opening your third eye, or you feel like you don't really get images when meditating, consider that you may be expecting the wrong thing to happen, and that you are actually tapped into your clairvoyance and you can learn to get clearer images and all that, but you expect a completely different experience from what it really is like. To summarize it all, clairvoyance is not overwhelming, bright, and dazzling images right in front of your eyes. It's a very subtle sensation that is subtle information packed in images and visuals that you can work with. It's almost like if you're a good clairvoyant, you can see an image in your mind and go to that place energetically and walk around in that image and draw your information from that. That's a practice I often do with my clients. I place them mentally in a room, and they are meant to walk around in that room and describe to me what they see, what they perceive. And in that way, we can get to their subconscious and get to things that they would usually not bring up in a session because they have not accessed it before, because they need the images and the visuals and the walking around in that energetic information and in that visual image to actually get the information they need to grow, evolve, and learn. Besides this cool effect that you can channel better and do practices like I just described, there are actual benefits to opening your third eye. The first one is that it is a completely new way of living. It's basically what I just described. You have another sense added to your senses. You have another source to draw from whenever you need guidance from within, whenever you need to find an answer for yourself. There is just one more sense that you can draw from, and it gives you a lot of direction and inner clarity to have this gift of clairvoyance and to have an open third eye so you can draw a lot of information from the energy around you. There are actual real benefits when it comes to opening your third eye. Besides like the cool effects of being able to do these practices and channel better, there are actual benefits that help you in your daily life. When you tap into your clairvoyance and you have this sense added to your senses, you automatically connect deeper with your cosmic self, with your higher dimensional aspects. Therefore, you learn to trust yourself and your intuitive impulses more. Your cosmic self speaks in the language of emotions and intuition with you. So when you are able to open your third eye and get information that is visual, because we as humans are visual beings, you automatically have an easier time trusting your intuitive impulses, your intuitive guidance. That leads to you not second guessing yourself so much, and you just make a decision based on your intuition and you're cool with it. You don't second guess it, you don't overthink it, you just follow your intuitive impulses, your intuitive guidance, and it feels right to do so. You're not second guessing anything, you're not unsure if your intuition is telling you the right thing or the wrong thing. It just gets more easier the more connected you are, and clairvoyance is a big part of that. By opening your third eye, you're also opening yourself up to the possibility of meeting and seeing your spirit guides, your cosmic family, your higher dimensional aspects, higher dimensional beings. You open up a whole new world that you can interact with. Let's say you are in meditation and you see a higher dimensional being. The way you visually see that being is not just random. You are not just making that image up in your mind. Your third eye is translating the energy of that higher dimensional being into an image that makes sense to you, that you can decode as the being that stands right in front of you or that is connecting with you in your meditation. Having a lot of these experiences and feeling how real they are can have a deep impact on you, and it can give you trust and stability from within. It just helps you to become more confident on your spiritual journey and lead a more spiritual life naturally, like without pushing it, without doing anything. You just trust and you have this inner connectedness. Even decision making will be easier because you're so much more connected to your cosmic self, your intuition, and how the spirit world communicates around you. So you will be able to make decisions way more easily with less overthinking, with less second guessing, and just trusting your own abilities, trusting the energies you see around. And if you are tapped in with your cosmic self, you also will pick up other people's energies. So if you go into a room and there is a person and you have a really bad vibe about that person because you're really tuned in with your cosmic self, even though everybody loves that person and is nice and just hypes them up, you feel something is off and you will distance yourself from that person and maybe even prevent yourself from heartbreak or a bad experience with that person. Or on the other hand, if a situation feels a little bit far-fetched or risky, but you deep down intuitively know that it all will be worth it. It could be making a big investment in your business. It could be starting a new job. It could be anything. And it feels risky. And from a mind perspective, you shouldn't do that. But intuitively, you know it will be fine and it will lead you where you are meant to be. Then you can also trust that impulse. You can trust your intuition so much better if you're tapped in with your higher aspects, with your cosmic self, with your guides. All that happens when you open your third eye and when you use your clairvoyance. It's all connected with each other, and it overall helps you to be a more in tune person, a more spiritual person, a more connected person. If you still struggle with your inner vision, with opening your third eye, it's important to get a feeling of what it feels like when you use your inner vision, so you don't confuse it with anything else, or you are expecting too much and it doesn't feel exactly how you expected it to feel like. So it's really important to get used to the feeling of using your inner vision. I want to teach you a little practice that you can do to open your third eye and to also practice your clairvoyance. It may be really easy for you if your third eye is already pretty open. It may be really difficult and really struggly if your third eye is really closed still. So no matter what your experience is, all is valid and all is helping you to open your third eye even more. If you struggle to come up with these mental images, don't put too much pressure on yourself. It will come naturally. It will evolve and activate within you if you really want it and if you practice it. Don't stress yourself. You are able to do this, even if it feels like you're not seeing anything right now. What you do is actually really easy. You take an object of your choice. It can be anything. I have a pen in my hand right now, and you hold that object in your hands. So whether this is a pencil or a phone charger or an orange, it doesn't matter. and you look at it for at least 1 complete minute. You look at the details, you turn it around, you look at what is written on the pencil, what the details are, what color the pencil writes in, like it, all the details. It doesn't really matter what you look at. Just look at that pencil really closely and try to remember all these little details about this object that you're holding in your hands. Now close your eyes and try to recreate this pencil or any other object that you did this with, and try to visualize and see, first of all, the overall object, but also the details you paid attention to. So if anything was written on that pen, or if there was a logo, try to replicate that in your mind and try to see it as clear as possible. If your third eye is still really closed, you can open your eyes from time to time and just take a peek at the pencil or at the object of your choice. Then close your eyes again and try to visualize it again. So from time to time, you just look at the object to refresh your memory, and then you try to picture that again. You can do that as often as you want, as many times as you want. It's a way to practice clairvoyance, quite literally. And it sounds stupid in the beginning because you're just looking at an object and trying to visualize it in your head, but it actually helps you to open this inner vision for you to actually tap into clairvoyance. So we're not using our clairvoyance here, we're just practicing mental images, but even that helps in the long run to use your clairvoyance and to actually download information with your clairvoyance. You just need to start somewhere if your third eye is still really closed. As always, I hope this was valuable for you and that you learned something new. Have fun practicing your clairvoyance, and let me know in the comments how open your third eye already is and what number on the chart from earlier your image was at. 1 to 6, 1 being seeing nothing at all, and 6 being seeing everything in detail.